Welcome back to the channel today. My name is Rich and this is once again Game of Life, and we're coming back with another round of our NASCAR Heat Career Mode Championship today. It is the Norfolds 500, which is at Homestead. Not a track that I typically go well at. I've raced it a couple of times on Heat 4 and obviously building up to where we are now. So yeah, never really gone well, so not exactly brimming with confidence today, but we'll just have to do our best and see where we end up really. It is 67 laps. It is a nice purse once again. It is a speedway, so that gives me a little bit of hope. But yeah, previous experience says this one's going to be a really tough one. But that being said, if we just take a look at the bottom left, or our incentive contract there, all we need is top 22 today, and we get another nice little payout, which means that we can have a little bit more money to spend. So if we can't do any better than 22nd today, at least if we can get that, that is something that we can take away from this one. Moving on then, we start looking at what we're going to do with the car. We have got our new chassis now, but it's actually still better to run the one we ran last time, so that's what we're going to go ahead and do. We're going to have a nice solid car again today, nothing amazing but not one that's too slow either. Today I would prefer a quicker car just because of my lack of confidence with the circuit, but it is what it is. This is where we are at the moment, this is what we've got, so it's what we're going to have to go and run with. Before we do commit to any of the work or anything though today, as you can see we've got $1 million to spend, and I think it's time to start growing the team now. Get a few more employees in and maybe we can work on both cars at the same time. I couldn't think what the word was I was after there, but yeah, at the same time is a decent enough way of explaining it. Even if it's slow and they work on one car in the background and we keep racing the one that we're in now, eventually that means we're going to have like a really good car for a selected track. So that is my thinking. It's not cost as much as I thought it was going to get these employees in, so we're going to train them the best we can. Obviously there's no way we can afford to max them all out at the moment, but we'll do the best that we can do. If we spend 100,000 on each, with there being 3 of them, that means they're going to be pretty well balanced, and like I say, their job at the moment is just going to be to work on a car in the background, so we can be racing one and building a really good one in the background. That's my thinking now. It's worked out okay. We could maybe squeeze a couple of more stats out of them at the moment. We've got more money left than I thought that we would do. So yeah, I think we'll go back, we'll push maybe 1 or 2 more out of all of them, and we'll just keep doing it slowly, because there's no point having one outstanding guy and then the car lagging in other departments. So yeah, we'll just keep going as high as we can at the moment and just drain the resources that we've got, and then hopefully put as many of them back as we can. Oh, we can't quite get him to the 10, so we'll stick with the 9. Yeah, we can hopefully put it back after this race and then develop them a little bit further and a little bit further until they're fully trained as well. And then there'll be a bit of a gap, I would imagine, before we can go and build yet another car and get even more employees in. I think the next step, once they're all fully trained, is then obviously to build a short track car. So we don't have to keep taking pain when we're going through them. But we're going to have a quick look at the championship now. We're still in a lofty 3rd at the moment, but God, I would feel so much better if we could just get a win and almost cement ourselves into the playoffs. But the win seems quite a distance away at the moment. We're definitely a midfield car, which is okay. I'm not too disheartened with that, especially considering we're only 6 races in at the moment as a constructor. So yeah, happy with the progress at the moment. There was times in, I don't know if it was this race when I was recording it or the last one, where I was thinking to myself, maybe we should be knocking the difficulty up. I think it was at Atlanta because there wasn't much defensive driving going on from the AI. But I don't want to do anything too hastily at the moment. We've got a big race coming up in Talladega pretty soon, and I'm thinking if we're still scoring ridiculously high finishes, top fives and this, that and the other this early on, then that's going to be what makes the decision, in all honesty, to put it up to hard and see what happens then. I don't know if it'll improve their racecraft defensively, attackingly, or it just makes them quicker lap time, but we'll find that out as we go along. So yeah, I think Talladega is going to be the cut-off, where unless you guys leave anything in the comments about doing it earlier, Talladega will be the cut-off, and I'll decide from there. What I'll do is I'll probably go back and look at all of our results, try and flex some of that muscle memory to remember what actually did happen during those races, and yeah, if I feel we've been performing too well or we are too fast for where I think we should be in season 1, then yeah, I will definitely knock up the difficulty. But yeah, we've looked at the championship now. Obviously we got a P9 last time out, which is not too bad. If I remember rightly, I think there was more than that on the table, but I'm really struggling because again I've recorded a batch and I can't remember which one we left the maximum on the table out of. But all that being said and all being considered, it is a P9. We're still only aiming for between 20 and 30 at the minute, although we're starting on speedways at least consistently hitting above that at the moment. So that might be where I try and find the balance to put the difficulty at once we've done Talladega. But in any event, that's the results of the last race. We've looked at the championship as well, what we've got to do to the car. So it is now time, as you can see, to head out to Homestead, which I believe is Miami, and it is looking like a mightily fine day, and hopefully we can get a mightily fine result out of the day. As we go out now onto qualifying and we start our build lap, not expecting much once again today, and yeah, like I said, I struggle at this track and we couldn't even get out onto the track properly. But yeah, this is the build lap. Qualifying days really at the moment for us are almost throwaway days. We just never ever seem to do well, as we have a big let off the throttle there before we put it into the wall. And it is now time, so here we go. We're about to cross the line for our timed lap. We've got a 34.3 to try and get. I don't believe we've even hit a qualifying goal yet this season, so not expecting much there either. It was a messy turn 1 for us, and we're going down the back straight now. We decide it's time to change camera angle as we head into this corner. Little let off the throttle again there just to hold the inside, and surely now we can plant it. The acceleration doesn't seem to be all that great out of that last turn, which is not good. And of course we don't get the goal again. We're 1.2 seconds away from it. We're averaging between a 1 and a 1.2, so nothing out of the ordinary for us really. We've given ourselves a lot of work to do once again during the race. But what we're going to do now is just scroll up and down the results so you can see where your favourite cars and driver have finished in their qualifying runs. Obviously we've learned with the game now that that doesn't necessarily mean it's where they're going to start, with all the optical scanning stations and people taking new tyres and all this lot going on. But we are, unless we get moved, starting in 33rd, which means hopefully if we don't get moved we will be on the inside, which is where I like to be going into the first turn, so that's definitely a positive. And who is it that gets pole today? It is Joey Logano in the 22. Hamlin, who I think's the fastest on this game, only managed a 4th. So yeah, interesting, and it looks like it's going to be a night race as well, which is something different to look at. I do like that. So stories, Jimmy Johnson, his same beer pal and B's drafting partner, Nemechek, It looked like he crashed there, and I didn't get a chance to see the other one. And we are on the outside, which means someone's starting from the back. We're in P32, so we've got to make at least 10 more places up as we go green now to get our qualifying bonus, our incentive, sorry. So yeah, hopefully we can do that and not waste much time and get as high up this grid as we can, as quickly as we can. Obviously by now we all know the story, and we've got to wait for our car to become that little bit looser before we can really do anything. Having said that, we're not dropping back before we go forward at the moment, which is nice. We're just following LaJoy as we come round to complete the first lap. We're still in with a big batch of cars here at the moment. There's not a lot of room, to be honest. As we shoot one down now, can we get the inside of Johnson? Was he not the one who wanted us to be a bud and draft him to the front of the grid? I'm pretty sure it was him, but he looks to have more pace than us at the moment anyways. He went nicely around the outside there. He's got a lot of momentum going down this straight, but we're going to once again look to send it. It's tentative between the two of us. It's really close. We do get a shot to the back bumper there, which just pushes us in front of him as we come off the corner and go across the start-finish line to start lap 3. Little bit of air now before we catch up to the next batch of cars. Oh, having said that though, we seem to be getting there already. We do get a punch there from, I believe that might be Johnson, as LaJoy rejoins us again. We're on his outside this time. We've got the momentum going into the corner. We want to get down to that apron as quickly as we can. LaJoy tries to stick his nose in now, which sends us all out of shape. And he's going to get that back, I believe, as we go into this corner. Can we use Wallace maybe to just pull us in front of him? We do manage to do that as lap 4 now starts. And I'll tell you what, it's been a lot better start than we're used to, which has surprised me because I really wasn't looking forward to this. But it is early days at the moment. There might be a 3 wide going down the straight here, so once again there's no room really. We can get onto the back of this guy in front and pull ourselves maybe once again in front of the Joy. Bowyer it is actually. We seem to have similar pace at the moment as Corey. We must do because we're spending a lot of time together on track at the moment. Once again now we send one to his inside, but he's still right there with us. He's not really dropping back, and he's actually got a bit of momentum there and tries to help us out, but I'd already moved down inside before I thought that was even going to happen. And look at the closing speed we got on Priest here now. He's not going to put up much of a fight by the looks of it. We try and squeeze down the inside again, and we just about get the job done there. And now we again can enjoy some air before we get onto the back of Stenhouse, which we managed to do. We did manage to pass him as well. We're now on the back of Reddick, and we've skipped a couple of laps. We're straight down the inside of him, but yeah, we've got a big cluster in front of us now. Carter, that is there, but there's no room. There's a car on every lane at the moment, but just look at the speed that we've got over all these guys here. They must have all slowed themselves and each other down. And we passed that whole batch of cars. Amarola was the last one, and we're just behind Bowyer now, a little pack of 3 there. And if you look at the moment at the track map, we are actually not too far behind the lead car considering how much time is left. But we do touch the apron there, which slows us down a little bit. Thankfully there's a bit of breathing room between us and the pack that we've just left behind. And if we can clear these guys quickly now as well, that's going to see us into P14. And we do manage to do that, but we're on the apron and we have to rub up the inside of Bowyer there. We'll have to apologise to him for that later. The Haas car there gives us a little shot just to nudge us in front of Bowyer. And as long as we hold this line, he's not going to be able to move down unless exactly like what I imagine he did there. He gets out of the throttle and gives us the position, which leaves us once again in some clear air at the moment. To be P14 on just lap 10 for us is absolutely massive. The car seems to be handling really well on this track. We didn't have to wait for it to come in either. which is a real surprise. It's one that I'll definitely take though. Having said that, we have just lost the place back to belt at the moment. One thing that I would say, as that muscle memory I was talking about is in the brain is coming back at the moment, as we go back down the inside and retake our 13th. And can we go around the outside? No, Bowman's picked up speed there. We're going to have to be patient. And that was the point that I was going to make. I really wasn't pushing at the moment at this point, which is really strange to be where we are without, like I said, having to wait for the car to come in. And we're in a lofty P12, and I was trying to be, because I knew that I'd struggle around this track, I was trying to be a lot more patient and just wait for things to happen. And it seems at the moment to be working an absolute treat. I'm not trying to push the car beyond what I believe it can do or anything like that. I was measuring whether we would be able to send the passes that we're making, like here for Elliot. If he was on the outside, we've seen it on a couple of instances, but come down, I would have just backed out and waited instead of being aggressive. And maybe there's something in that at the moment, because the car feels absolutely electric. What the team have done between this race and the last one is quite unbelievable. As we move into the top 10 now, guys, on just lap 13, I really was not full of confidence coming into this race, but it was definitely building. We found something at the moment. It's still early doors, but to be in the top 10, like I say, on lap 14, and still with how much we've got to go in with a real shout of really doing something special here at the moment, is absolutely amazing. But we'll move on, because we're just in a whole load of clear air at the moment. So it would take us to lap 16 to finally chase these guys down, but we have done it. And unbelievably, Blaney there, again, someone else will probably have to apologise to. Yeah, we've got all three in one go really quickly. Could not believe that happened, actually. And there's just one car now on his own, and I don't believe we're lapping traffic at the moment, so that could be our P5 right there. And this is on pure pace. There's been no tactics from the pit lane, there's been no cautions or anything like that as we just cross into lap 17. This has been our authentic running pace, which is still, I don't know if you can tell with my voice, but it is absolutely, guys, blowing my mind that we are this quick around this track of all tracks. But that car is now not on his own, and there could be some lap traffic here, because we can now start to see them as we've closed him in. We have a quick check, see how we're doing on fuel, and we're actually not just doing well on fuel, but we're doing really well on tyres as well. So there's absolutely no reason for us to stop yet, and what I said about being patient, there, that is the proof in the pudding. I was tentative going and lapping the other car, eased and backed right out of it against Gase, because there is no need to rush for us at the moment. We have time on our side as we pass Haley there. Newman is right in front of us here, and I did consider going around the outside, but I chose not to, and once again that patience that I'm talking about was on display there. It weren't the greatest exit, we did touch the apron, but we do still have enough momentum to pass him quite easily. But we miss our braking point now, which means we do have to stamp on the brake pedal a bit. We do that, and there's absolutely no bother whatsoever. And I just want to point your attention once again to the track map, and look how much now that we're catching on not just the lead cars, the leader. We are right in this race, guys. I cannot believe I'm saying it, but we are right in this race at the moment, feeling so good. And yeah, long may it continue. We've still got over 2/3 of the race to go at the moment, so just need to keep being patient, just need to keep doing what we're doing, keep that composure. Hopefully the car stays in the way it is at the moment, the way it feels, and we could do something extremely special. I mean, top 5 for us is that, but we've had that before. But I mentioned before the race that we could really do with that win to try and get in the playoffs in our debut season, that would be absolutely phenomenal. And yeah, we're back on the back of Hamlin now. We've caught these guys up. He's just lapped over there. And is he going to do the under-over? He is as well. I absolutely love that move on this game. Underneath one car, simultaneously going over the other. Can we use one of our favourite moves now and pinch Hamlin? We're really tentative there as we go past Nemechek. I'm guessing Hamlin's probably going to have a much better exit than us out of this corner. Having said that, I can't see him. That's really odd because it did look like he got past that car a lot quicker than we did. And he's our buddy Kozlowski as well. We spend a lot of time on the same tarmac as this guy. We usually want the same piece that he's on at the same time as well. Oh, the car's got loose there now. That was a little moment there. Just again reaffirming that we just need to keep being patient. We don't need to pass these guys right now, as long as we stay with them. And yeah, Hamlin had a little luck but decided to go out of it, which I'm quite glad of because the car wasn't really under full control. And can we send one to the inside of Kozlowski now? Again, we're really tentative, trying to predict where that car was going to go, and I thought for a second we were going to touch the apron, so we're patient, we do it on the straight, we get Kozlowski, well now we're going to get Harvick as well going into this corner. We've got the inside lane, so it should be bread and butter, but we've lost a little bit of grip there. The tyres are starting to feel a little bit second hand now, so we're going to have to be extra cautious. We've got Priest in front of us. But at this point, even though I'm saying now I need to exercise caution and this, that and the other, I cannot tell you how fast the heart was beating to think, you know what, we've got a race winning car here. In sight of us now, we have the race leader. We've got so much more pace, it seems, at the moment than the race leader, and then that was when we had to again hit the brake, get off the throttle. The excitement was getting a little bit too much and it was changing what I was doing. I needed to recompose myself. I was considering, because there's been no caution at the moment, at this point, coming in early, fixing a new set of rubber onto the car and going again, because like I said, I was really starting to feel the tyres at this point. But I just couldn't. I couldn't do it. I wanted to get this guy Bush on track, and I just kept continuing to chase him down, waiting for the right moment. But there, another snap of oversteer sends us onto the apron. We get away with it, and again we back out. I was really considering sending one against Bush there. We drive round his outside, which is never going to work at this point, and there it is. Just when I was considering pitting, the caution would indeed come out, and it would bring us back out in P1, which I was really surprised about. Bush has lost 6 positions during that caution, so we are once again on the front row with Kozlowski, and we've got just over half the race left to go. But I was really happy at this point. I was wondering whether we could just now go and check out of this race. We got nothing, and I mean nothing but clear air in front of us now. I was driving defensively at this point because again, typically we're not really good at restarts, which did have me a bit nervous, and as you can see, we are now starting to get swamped. Whether it was that set of tyres that just felt really good from the beginning, I really don't know, but I didn't feel as confident off this restart as I was off the actual official race start, and we just would continue to go backwards for the time being. And we would, as we cut on to lap 33, continue to go backwards all the way down to P14. I was really devastated, and not so much devastated because we're still in touch with the leader. We can actually see him just about from where we are. So again, I recomposed myself and thought, okay, we've been patient so far. All we've got to do here is just keep being patient. We clearly had the pace to run at the front before the caution, So I just took from that confidence that I'd built before, and yeah, we just now hopefully can go forwards. We're getting a little bit of help from behind us, and there's Bell on our outside, there's Logano as well, and yeah, I completely messed up that corner, I'm not gonna lie. That was nothing to do with the car, that was just pure driver error. We got into the back of the number one, and yeah, it caused the car to oversteer a little bit. But now we've got some more air and we re-chased down the guys that we passed earlier. And sure enough, it took us 2.5 laps, but here we are now, straight down the inside of the 12. Take that position off him, straight down the inside of the 24 and straight down the inside of the 9, which I believe is Elliott, is it not? You guys can let me know if I got that one right or not. But Byron does get back down our inside as we did clip the wall as we go on to lap 38 now. The number 2 and the number 11 are battling it out at the front at the moment. So hopefully if they keep going side by side, just hopefully that'll drop them back into us as we hit the wall again now. Yeah, a little update, these tyres made the car feel like it has done at every other track. Maybe we just got lucky in the first run before the caution come out, and we got like niced with a real good set of tyres, because the car really didn't feel the same on these ones. We still have pace, we're still moving forwards, but handling wise the car just didn't feel quite the same as it did on that first set of boots. So again, I was just exercising that little bit more caution because of that, and if the race was to finish now and we're in P8, I would have took that. So yeah, it is what it is at the moment. We are probably going to have to stop again in this one, so hopefully we can get another good set of boots like we did on the first run. Just 27 to go now, we're in P7, it's a glorious night at Miami. I am so happy with where we are at the moment. It's nosebleed territory for us once again. We just avoid the wall this time. There's a little bump as you come out of that corner, it seems. I've just noticed it now as I'm watching this back with you guys. Didn't really notice that during the race, I don't know why, but to be fair, I don't normally run that part of the track, so maybe that's what's been sending us into the wall. In any event, Newman's looking quite quick himself here, but not quick enough. We've got the inner lane and we just send it up the inside of him with ease. And it seems like he got out the throttle expecting us to move up the track, which we didn't, but that gave us a whole lot of room. And now there would be yet another caution. So we're not actually now gonna, I don't think, have to stop during this race. We've got a little repeat here of Hamlin on our outside. We've had a nice battle for the lead before, which he won and won the race obviously. But yeah, I don't think now we're going to have to actually come to pit road and stop. I think we can run to the end, and I think that's the same for all of us. We've just managed to hold the inside line there. I noticed on the last restart that I left the inside open, and that was a critical error. So even if I'm not as quick at building up the speed as these guys, my thinking was if I can hold the inside the best that I can, then maybe we can do something here. But as we come round to the second turn, I lost the inside before I even finished telling you guys my thoughts, and once again we have got swamped. We got a shot to the back bumper there, which has sent us up much higher than I would have wanted to go, but luckily for us, the number 24 has decided I'm going to help and I'm going to give you a push, and we tried to squeeze through the room there that Elliott left open and get back to that inside as quickly as I could. But again, we just couldn't hold it, and we start to fall back again, and we're running out of laps now as well. So that patient approach, I'm not going to lie, it was starting to wear a little bit thin at this point, because twice I feel like we've had the pace to go and run out at the very front and maybe get the win here. And I thought to myself, if we still have that pace, we're still having more than enough laps to get back out the front, but I can't afford to be quite as patient as I was doing before. and that's why I tried to send one there, but again have to get off the throttle as I felt the wall closing. We get another little bump from Elliot there, which puts us into the draft area of Byron as we slip to P12, but we now climb back up to P11. I had to let off there because I knew Carter was going to shut the door, and I knew that we didn't have the grip to hold the line at the moment. So yeah, but we do again get another little push there from Elliot, and it's a nicely timed one as well on the back straight. Can we get Carter this time? No, we can't. He shuts that door again, and as soon as he does, we lose our momentum through that corner and start sliding off up the track yet again. So Carter's being proving to be a real nuisance to us at the moment. We get into his drafting now to pull us back up to him again, and now we try and go outside, but as soon as we try and move on him yet again, we lose the place, and Elliot this time, instead of bumping us back up the track, just clean passes us. So a real frustrating part of the race just at the moment, guys. And we've had to cut all the way to lap 52 because the recording was really glitchy to this point. So yeah, the little update, we are back inside the top 10 now. We did stop going backwards, and I'm starting to just feel like the tyres are now switched on again. We've got the grip and the confidence again that we can now go and attack, and hopefully with the laps that we've got left we can go and really challenge for the win. I wasn't expecting this coming into the weekend, but the way that the car feels at the moment, I definitely feel that a win is on the cards here, but to do that we are going to have to get past these cars that are slowing us up at the moment. You would have seen twice there I had to hit the brakes in order not to go straight into the back of Bowyer, but we do clear him now, and we've got a bit of clean air to go and attack the track in front of us once again, and yeah, really push on to try and get this win. And pushing is exactly what I did, real hard pushing on those 2 laps that it took to catch these guys. And now that we have caught them, we've cleared them really easily, to be fair. We've got a few cars here just scattered about the place, and I wasn't as close to the apron as I would have liked to have been around that corner, I'm not going to lie. But in any event, we push on, we keep moving forwards. We've got Harvick in front of us now. He's going to stay high by the looks of it, leaving that inside open, but for whatever reason we couldn't hold it going into that corner there, but we could maybe tuck in, but choose not to behind him, and we just push on, and that is us up into P4 now. And once again, just look at that track map, we are so close to the leaders now with just 11 laps to go. We've got 2 cars on the outside, 1 in the middle. They've all formed in the line now, so none of them lose draft. And we've got to push again like mad now just to catch up to them. It seems like that we have got the pace on them once again. I don't know if they're slowing each other down or not. I'm not even sure at this point if these are the lead 3 cars or whether there's a lapped one in there maybe. But we've gone through, no one in front of us. We've got all the track that we need at the moment, and as you can see, I've changed the line there to try and use that track. It didn't completely work. In fact, I feel like we went round that a bit slower than we normally would, so yeah, that's something to note. I don't know if I try that again or not. We will soon find out. But here we are now. This is the interesting part. You've got 2 lapped cars in front of 2 of the race leaders. Kozlowski there around the outside could maybe sneak past Hamlin. He's going to try to. We very briefly here are on the inside of all of them in one go. We got Bush and we up the inside of him, but can we hold it? Because Hope now is right where we need to be. We managed to block off Bush, but Hamlin has got down the inside of us. And is this going to be a 9-lap battle now between us and Hamlin again? We have got the momentum, but he's where we would want to be. We do use the lap car to good advantage, and guys, we are only in the bloody lead. All we got to do now is just drive this 7 laps the way we drove the whole race, and we are going to collect ourselves a win and potentially get into the playoffs, and that is stupid. What a stupid move on my part. We don't need to be that impatient now. We haven't been all race. I don't know why I did that. Really don't know why I did that. That risked everything with literally nothing to gain. It was stupid, but we get away with it. maybe starting to feel a little bit of pressure now, as it's different being out in front, especially when you so desperately have been waiting for a win as well. I couldn't believe that it may come here of all places, as we just squeezed down the inside of Wallace there. That was a lot more calm, a lot more what I want to see at the moment. And we tick another one off now. Just 6 to go, guys, and we could be taking the checkered, which would be the first win for our team ever. And oh god, I was so excited at this point. I can't even remember, if I'm being completely honest with you, because like I said, I've recorded a few again, what did happen at the end of this one, but we can't take our normal line there because Nemechek's having a nice little battle with someone here. It's Fincham, and we had a massive snap of oversteer there and just drove clean into the side of Nemechek. We don't need the car to start playing up now, we really don't. We've ticked another one off. 5 more to go, guys, just 5 more. And as we come around to the start finish line, you can see there's a problem for someone up ahead, and this has just absolutely crushed me. Because you know what's going to happen now from the restart. We're not taking no fuel. I debated whether to just take the right sides and thought maybe that'll do to keep the car loose. And look where we are now. In hindsight, probably shouldn't have took anything. Really disappointed. We've got 2 laps now to recover as much as we can do. Yeah, I was fuming with myself at this point. I was like, why didn't you just keep the car as it is? I weren't sure if the AI were going to take at least the 2 tyres like I did, just to get them through to the end. Well, they didn't, and yeah, all the patience at this point has gone. It is full on, just aggressive driving now. We're keeping our foot through. Look at the move. I attempted to try that. It's not on, but I was going to try it anyway, and I did, and we just move our way now aggressively and hit the wall. The red mist had come, guys, I'm not going to lie, inside the helmet, lost all my composure, and we were just flying past these cars. But at the end of the day, I'd already knew the win had gone. As soon as I seen where we were restarting, I knew the win had gone. And yeah, we just got to take what we can get now as we come across the start finish line. It is going to be P14. Wow. What a cruel way to end what was an absolutely exhilarating race to be taking part in. Absolutely deflated, guys. The team delivered a really good car to this circuit. I was absolutely dreading it coming into it because of previous experiences here, and to have a car that felt like that, that felt that fast, and in my heart of hearts I knew that we could take the win. To be P14, just wow. It's a pretty amazing, but not in a good way, amazing way to end the weekend. It's a missed opportunity. The next race coming up, we're gonna have to bounce back again. Positives is the car. It did everything I wanted it to do in this race. I felt like I could place it absolutely anywhere. Yeah, we had the pace. We were running with the leaders for a long time during this race, so we have to take those positives, try and bring the car equally as good, if not better, to the next one. But there's no getting around it. I cocked up here big time. There was a win on the table for us here. And yeah, that's the beauty of it, isn't it, guys? It's the beauty of the sport. It's the highs and lows of sport. That's why, whether it be a video game, whether you're watching it on TV, taking part or any of that stuff, it's why I love sport anyway. There's no script. You just have to take the highs and lows. and today unfortunately is a low, but we'll bounce back. Really encouraged by the pace in the car, so I've no doubt we'll bounce back. But guys, that for this episode is gonna do it. If you did enjoy it, please hit that like and subscribe button. It would help me an awful lot, and let me know what you thought in the comments, because that would be really helpful too. But other than that, I will see you all hopefully for the next one. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and yeah, we'll be back soon.